Have you ever been cruising down the highway when a huge dump truck or cement mixer rolls past, and something about it just feels off? The engine rumbles, the steel frame shakes, the giant wheels are spinning, but then you notice the tires more carefully. One whole set isn't even touching the road. They're hanging there, turning freely in midair, gliding above the asphalt like a ghost. At first, it looks wrong. Maybe the suspension is broken. Maybe something snapped. It almost feels like a visual bug from a video game. But that floating wheel isn't an accident, and it definitely isn't a malfunction. In reality, it's a clever engineering solution. One that helps protect roads from massive damage, saves trucking companies huge amounts of fuel money, and prevents heavy vehicles from tearing themselves apart when they turn. Today, we're uncovering the surprising reason why some truck wheels are built to stay off the ground. To really understand why that wheel floats, you first need to think about what's underneath it, the road itself. Asphalt and concrete may look rock solid, but they aren't indestructible. Pile too much force onto one small area, and instead of supporting the vehicle, the surface begins to crack and collapse. That's why weight laws exist. Governments don't just care about how heavy a truck is overall, they care about where that weight is carried. Distribution matters. A simple way to picture this is walking through deep snow. Step out in sharp heels, and you'll sink instantly. Strap on snowshoes, and suddenly the same weight is spread wide enough to keep you afloat. This is the exact job of that extra axle, known in engineering terms as a lift axle. When a dump truck is carrying something like 20 tons of gravel, 2 or 3 normal axles aren't enough to support that load within legal limits. So the solution is simple. The driver presses a switch inside the cab. Massive airbags suddenly fill with air, forcing that once floating axle downward until the tires finally meet the road. In that moment, the truck gains its own version of snowshoes. The load is shared across more wheels, the stress on the pavement drops, and the vehicle can now operate legally without crushing the surface beneath it. But if extra wheels make roads safer, why not leave them on the ground all the time? Why lift them at all? As with many engineering decisions, the real reason is simple: cost. Truck tires aren't cheap. Each one can cost hundreds of dollars, and they don't last forever. Every rotation against the pavement creates drag, known as rolling resistance. The more tires that touch the road, the more effort the engine needs to keep the truck moving, and the more fuel it consumes. Now picture a truck that has just unloaded its cargo. It's suddenly much lighter. If those extra axles stay down, the truck is wasting fuel and grinding away valuable rubber for no benefit. Lifting them immediately reduces drag. It's essentially fuel-saving mode for heavy trucks. Then there are tolls. Many bridges and highways calculate fees based on how many axles are touching the road. By raising that extra set of wheels, the truck can legally be classified as a smaller vehicle, sometimes slashing toll costs dramatically. And there's one last, critically important reason for lift axles. Turning ability. Trucks are incredibly long machines. When one with several fixed axles tries to make a sharp turn, the rear wheels don't simply roll along, they drag sideways across the asphalt. This phenomenon is called scrubbing. It's loud, it tears up the tires, and it puts enormous strain on the truck's frame and suspension. A truck with too many wheels planted firmly on the ground basically wants to go straight forever. Turning becomes a fight. By raising that extra axle, the driver essentially shortens the effective wheelbase. This makes the truck much more nimble, letting it pivot through tight corners, squeeze through busy construction zones, or navigate city streets without shredding tires or ripping up the road. So the next time you spot a truck with a set of ghostly wheels floating above the pavement, remember, it's not broken. It's a master of adaptation, a machine that balances physics, road safety, and operating costs in real time.